Hello, my friends. Chris Cooking Nashville here, doing a health vlog for you guys today. It's a cold day in Nashville, but at least the sun is shining, so there we go. Health-wise, my weight has basically stayed the same. It's just kind of fluctuating back and forth, pound or two, in kind of that same range. I'm not really surprised by that, but to be honest, the last couple of days, I have really felt like I'm flushing stuff out, and I've had like some itchy skin and just a couple of like odd type things like that. And I was a little bit achy today, which could be just because it's cold, but it also could be oxalate dumping if that's what that is, according to that pattern that I see. So I wouldn't be surprised if this time next week, if maybe I've lost some weight. And I could be wrong, but it's possible. We'll see. Overall, though, I'm feeling good, other than a couple of symptoms from the last about day. And that kind of, as I've said, that kind of seems to be that start of that whole pattern. So I thought while I was on here, I would talk with you all briefly about something that has just kind of been on my mind and been very apparent to me. When I started doing keto back a couple, 3 years ago, whenever that was, I guess that was 2021. So coming up on 3 years, I had absolutely no idea that the journey that I was beginning would become what it has. I had no way of knowing what the real impact of keto was going to be in my life. It's interesting to me because there is this really strong unintended side effect of keto, and especially of carnivore, that I never would have foreseen doing what it has done in my life. I think sometimes, whether it's keto or carnivore or whatever it is we're doing, trying to get healthy, trying to lose weight, whatever our, kind of general goals are, I think sometimes we as humans, we tend to try to put everything in a little box so much, and we forget about the other elements that go along with it. And I think weight loss and our diet plan and our healing and our, what we choose to eat and all of this kind of stuff, we do this with. We try to put it into a little box and understand just the exact specific things that are going to just force it to work. And the truth is, I think in the process of trying to control our experience that way, I think sometimes we miss out on what really makes these things special. So I want to tell you about this sort of unintended side effect of keto, and especially of carnivore specifically, that has been on my mind. To me, keto was how I was going to lose weight, and then carnivore was a more strict form of that was going to help me try to lose a little more weight before I had to look good for wedding pictures when I got married. I was using it as a way to just try to force my body to do something, and I wasn't thinking about anything else. And as a result of going carnivore the first time, I discovered this mental awakening, this removing the symptoms of depression and anxiety and emotional issues and all this kind of stuff that I was dealing with, the irritability and whatever else. And I came to this realization that there was a lot more going on in my body than just being overweight. And it wasn't just pain or things that I felt. It was also my emotions and my mental state and how I thought about things, how I could see and understand and interact with the world around me and the people around me. And I think as a result of that, I ended up finding myself getting to a place where I was much more able to be the person that I've always hoped that I could be. And this is one of the reasons that my channel and the videos that I do here matter so much for me personally. Something that's always been important to me is doing something that helps somebody else. Truthfully, I don't think get any more satisfaction from anything than I do from whatever it is that I'm doing having an impact on somebody else's life. When I teach guitar lessons, I enjoy teaching guitar lessons, but I get so much more fulfillment from them when I do something and then one of my students tells me how much that's helping or the impact that it's had on their life and how it's changing what they're able to do, and they are happy about this. They're feeling like they benefit from this and that it's having a positive impact on what they can do, and it makes their life better. I love doing the YouTube channel stuff and the recipes and the cooking and all this kind of thing. But really, the thing that is so enjoyable about that for me is not necessarily the amount of time that I spend on social media and on YouTube doing all of this stuff or studying to learn it or whatever. There have been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours put into learning how to be a better YouTube creator, how to be a better video editor, how to do color correction, how to post, and how to run social media. And I mean, just all of this stuff. Like, I've studied all of these things for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of work just on learning to do it, let alone the actual time spent doing it. And it's interesting, but that's not necessarily a passion to just go sit and, read and watch instructional, like, informational videos about these things and, practice all of this stuff. It's fulfilling in a certain sense, but that's not where the passion really lies. The reason that I have the focus and the energy to put into all of that is because as a result of that, I get better at running my YouTube channel, and I can do more to help all of you, and I can do more to have a bigger impact on a larger group of people. At least that's the hope. So the recipes and the videos and the editing time and the social media time and all of this stuff that I put into all of that, what's really fulfilling about that is when I hear from the people in the community the positive impact that this is having in their life and how they say this makes their life better. That is the most fulfilling feeling, to get those kinds of messages and comments and feel like what I'm doing matters to somebody else. I actually reached out to Nisha, Dr. Barry and Nisha, in a private message one time and told her about some comments that I had gotten where people were thanking me for the impact that my work was having in what they were doing. And it really meant a lot to me to get those, and I wanted to tell her that she and Dr. Barry had that kind of impact on me, and that the fact these people were reaching out to me to say that I had an impact on them was really all started by Dr. Barry and Nisha putting their information out there. And so I was thanking them and kind of passing along that, that positive commentary on, like, look what you're doing and the positive impact that it's having in the world. And I told her, that I appreciated her and Dr. Barry and their work so much because it gives me the opportunity to do what I do because I now know these things. And I remember she responded, she said, "It's the best feeling in the world, isn't it?" And I said, yes, it really is. And I think all of this is going back to this idea that there is this unintended, unforeseen side effect of my carnivore diet, which is the emotional, really spiritual attachment to the community, to the people around me. And I have such a heart for people that are struggling with the same things I was struggling with and don't have the confidence and maybe the knowledge and the experience in the kitchen or whatever it is to do some of the things that I'm doing for myself. And that's why I feel so much fulfillment out of doing these things, putting it out there, and then realizing that it helps other people. Regardless of what your beliefs are, I think that everyone has probably had this experience where they do something that helps somebody and it's communicated to them how much that means, and it just fills them so much. It makes your heart so full to know that it matters to somebody. And this unintended consequence of this whole experience for me has just ramped up the amount of love and attachment that I have to the people around me and the people who this helps. My mom has always said that I am the champion of the underdog, as she has always put it. And I was that kid in, grade school before I was homeschooled from 5th grade onwards. But prior to that, I was in public school, and I was always the kid who was friends with unpopular kids, and I defended kids that were being bullied and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just have always hated sitting back and watching someone who I felt like didn't deserve to be treated in a particular way, or was being treated harshly, or, was being bullied or was being singled out or whatever. I have always felt like people like that deserve to have someone who's there to defend them and someone in their corner. And that's probably part of my upbringing and my own personal faith beliefs and, the idea of defending the innocent people who maybe can't stand up for themselves in the moment. And that's probably why I get so passionate in the comment section with people who come on here and basically occasionally say that what I'm doing with my recipes is dumb, and that if myself or any of you eat any of these recipes, that's somehow something that's wrong with us. And it's not based on any scientific anything. It's just purely let me elevate myself above all of these other people because I can be something that I consider to be more elite and strict and, whatever. So now I'm going to make comments and tell other people that they're not as good as me. It's purely an ego thing for someone who makes a comment like that. I generally don't really pay too awful much attention to people like that because there's lots of people in the space that are happy to express things that way. Not because they're trying to help people, but just because they want to be elite. But when they come in my comment section on my channel and they start going on the attack, not just putting out information that they are supporting their own belief system about this, but they're actually attacking people, I get very passionate about professionally, but directly telling someone like that exactly why they're wrong and exactly what their problem is for wanting to treat people that way. And that matters to me because I don't believe anyone deserves to be talked to that way, especially people who are struggling and not feeling well and may have brain fog and may have these kinds of things like anxiety and depression and other just mental and emotional issues as a result of their diet and their body struggling. I've been there. I've struggled with it. And I know how hard it was for me to see myself as valuable when I was struggling. And I would be naive if I didn't think that there were so many more people out there who are struggling in the exact same way. And those people deserve someone in their corner fighting for them the same as anybody else. And I've gotten this sort of unintended consequence where not only am I super attached and protective of those kinds of people, but I actually have a platform from which I can try to inspire them and let them know they're not alone. Carnivore, keto and too, but especially carnivore, has really given me something that I never imagined that I would have, and that is this new lease on life and this new group of people to try to help and try to just be a part of a community with and inspire others within that community based on my own experience that they might be able to relate to. I think every single one of you will have some unintended and unforeseen side effect of getting your health under control, whether it's keto, ketovore, carnivore, whatever you do. And I don't know exactly what that will look like because I think that's probably going to be different for everyone, but I think those unintended and unforeseen and unexpected side effects of gaining your health with a proper human diet, I think sometimes we forget that maybe that's where the most magical part of this whole thing is actually in existence. That's what I'm saying when we try to put everything into a little box. We think about, our numbers, like our cholesterol and our weight and our A1Cs and all these different kinds of things, health markers and stuff. And those are all important things for sure. And, and we know the science behind so many of these things where we can use them as tools to try to, put the next amount of effort into something, take the next step, get healthier, whatever. And it's a great way to categorize and have evidence for the way that we do what we're doing and the diet that we use and whatever. But we have to remember that our existence as humans goes so far beyond just that. And loving the people around us and inspiring the people around us, or taking inspiration from someone who went through something that we're currently going through ourselves, that's a big part of this journey too. And sort of this whatever unforeseen thing is that's going to happen in each of our lives as our health improves, and what that grows into and the life change that we start to see, the emotional and the spiritual effects of that. That's really important too. And it's something that helps us understand our why, here's my motivation for doing this when I'm in those moments where I'm being tempted because I'm still fighting that whole thing, whether it's, a mental or a physical addiction or, whatever our case may be, we're still fighting to change our life. It's those moments, those why questions, those things that we see starting to happen, those unintended consequences of gaining our health back, it's those kinds of things that give us the strength to keep going. And we can't box those things out because those are real. Those actually happen, and those are important things to not just allow them to happen, but to hope for. Because it's the good things that start to change in your life when you take your health back that gives you hope and gives you fulfillment and gives you satisfaction. And it gives you the opportunity when you get your own life moving in a direction that you are blessed by and happy for. It's what gives you the ability to turn around and find someone else who's struggling exactly the way you were and see if you can offer them a hand up and just try to help them out and try to inspire them and just be open and honest and real with them about what you went through and what you now see as this newfound life with all of these changes. And hopefully you can encourage them to start working on what they need to do so that they can have the same. So I have this really cool, totally unintended side effect, which is a completely new life and a new drive and a new just focus and goal of helping and loving all of the people who are struggling in the same way that I was. And I look to the people that are in front of me that have done more work than I have for my inspiration. I keep myself going in that direction and working hard at it, and I'm not perfect, but I do the best I can, and I'm just trying to turn around and take whatever skill set it is I have so that I can create things where I can turn around and offer that hand up to the people who maybe aren't where I'm at, or maybe are still struggling with those things, so that they can experience that amazing, wonderful, full heart, fulfilling experience of changing their life and being able to help out other people too. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm here. And that's why I love the carnivore lifestyle and the channel that I have and the community of you all. It's why I'm here. It's what I do and it's what I love. And I just appreciate you guys so much. And I say it as regularly as I can. And maybe I say it, constantly to where sometimes it might seem like I'm just scripting it or saying it off the cuff just because it's a habit or something. But I really want you guys to know it is very heartfelt. It is very sincere. It means a lot to me to have you all here. I love you guys. You are worth it. And I can't wait to see where this takes all of us together. Thank you for watching. This is Chris Cooking Nashville. Eat your meat, love your life, and love all of those people that are struggling. I'll see you guys in the kitchen for the next recipe.